I'm Zach Blackburn. Welcome to Flexography. So now we're going to start working on getting our print line up to the die. So when we look at this, I'm going to stop it and I'm going to pull it off. You can see like it's not lined up to the die. So it's pretty easy to see that up and down is not lined up to the die. It's pretty easy to see that. We can also kind of see that side to side, it looks like it could be moved a little bit. So we've got a handful of things to address. Now, one way how I do this visually is I can see where the plate, wraps together. Okay, that's the seam of the plate, and that usually prints, and you can see it by the bearer bars not touching. There's usually a tiny little gap in these bars that are on the side. We call them bearer bars. So the thing I know is that gap or that seam needs to line up with the gap of one of these in between the die cuts. So I want to move it so that gap is lined up with the gap of the die, and that'll help me visually get it lined up just right. So I just kind of look for that line right there, and I try to line it up there. So that helps me with the up and down of things. Next is my side to side. So when I look at the artwork here, I can see that it doesn't look centered side to side in the die. So the plate needs to move this way in order to line it up. So I can look at the artwork and I use that as a visual reference. Another way of doing it is, again, using these bars on the sides. I can see that the bar on this side and the gap from it to the cut is much larger than the bar on this side and the gap to the cut. So I can see that the bars aren't, on here evenly. So that's another visual reference for me. So whenever you're setting up the die, these are the kind of two things that you need to think about. Next, we'll talk about how to make the adjustments to line it up properly.